What's up, guys? Welcome to my third vlog in my new vlogging series. Today I'm going to give you a little inside look of how I edit weddings. You'll be watching my screen and seeing all the edits I make and how I lay everything out and organize my projects. Unfortunately, usually I edit on dual monitors, but for some reason I can't record both monitors at the same time. So I'm only recording one monitor, so I've got everything squeezed onto the one monitor, which kind of sucks. The two monitors I use are two 28-inch Samsung monitors. They both display 4K, so it really sucks that I gotta cram everything on one screen just so you guys are able to see it, but no big deal. Well, let's just get started and dive right into it. So this is a wedding I did This is a wedding I did on December 30th, 2017. It was the last one of the year. It was the last one of the year for me. I had help with my good friend Gary Ottinello. Go follow him on Instagram and subscribe to his YouTube channel. He also does some vlogs. Shout out to Gary. So yeah, we've got my files and clips over here. Everything's labeled. You know, we got the audio, clips, blah, blah, blah. Got the timeline down here. As you can see, I've already started editing a little bit. I've got the prep right in here. It's kind of just a rough cut. I haven't really added any sort of transitions, titles, anything like that. And over here, I've already got the ceremony started. You know, we got the down the aisle camera here, then we got Gary's footage here, then my footage right above that. And I'll cut back and forth in between to give the wedding the best cinematic look and feel. And then down below, obviously we've got the audio for each track. The officiant mic is right here. Then we got some of the music I've laid underneath to go along with the footage. So let's go ahead and get started, and thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and I hope you learn a little bit today. Alright, so right now we are just trying to line up the footage to have it flow from Juliana and Javier, getting the rope put around them, and then going into the next shot. So we've got them getting a prayer put upon them by the officiant. I think that can be a good shot to go into next. Let's see, that's the end of the ceremony. So what I'm trying to do right now is, if I zoom out here, what am I trying to do? Okay, so what I'm trying to do right now is, this is the end of the song for the ceremony. It's in the background. So what I'm trying to do is just fill up the rest of the space here, because the next song that comes right here, that should be, yeah, so that song is the song for the reception. So I'm just trying to fill in this last little space right here with the ending of the ceremony, so we can flow right into the reception. So let's see what we can do here. So here they still have the rope around them, so I think it'd be a good time to go from this shot here as the rope gets put on them by their son and daughter, and then we can go into them getting the prayer from the officiant. So what we got to do is find the audio for that officiant, and unfortunately, since this is a church wedding, the audio clips are extremely long, because the whole ceremony was about 35 to 40 minutes, so it's a pain to try to find where the clip I'm looking for or where the audio I'm looking for is in this whole long section of audio from the officiant. So kick back and try to stay with me as I try to look for what he's saying here. So it's kind of hard to hear him, just because it's, the audio from the onboard camera. This is Gary's footage, by the way. This is his angle. So since he's a little farther away, it's kind of hard to hear what the officiant was saying. So I'm just going to boost up the audio of that clip. So what I'm looking for here is just a clear audio clue that I can easily try to find in the audio clip. So I hear join today something something matrimony. So I'm going to try to find those key words in this clip and try to match it up with this clip.
That the Lord may seal and strengthen and his church.
So those are the I do. So I believe this was after the I do.
Javier, take you Juliana, to take you Javier to honor you.
So the ceremony was so long that I actually split into 2 audio clips, which really sucks.
Reunido. Who are joined today in the sacrament of matrimony.
All right, there it was. So I heard Javier and Juliana something something matrimony. So I think this is it.
Maker of the whole world, who created man and woman in your own image, and willed that their union be crowned with your blessing. We humbly beseech you for these your servants, Javier and Juliana, who are joined today in the sacrament of matrimony. May your abundant blessing, Lord, come down upon...
So he says blessing and Lord, so I'm almost certain this is the part of the audio clip I want to use. So what I'm going to do is go in here and find the beginning of it.
Let us humbly invoke by our prayers, dear brothers and sisters,
which I believe is that.
Father, maker of the whole world. Holy Father, maker of the whole world.
Holy Father, maker of the whole world.
God's blessing upon this bride, Juliana, and this groom, Javier, that in his kindness he may favor with his help those on whom he has bestowed the sacrament of matrimony. Holy Father, maker of the whole world.
So there it was, Holy Father, maker of the whole world. So we have found it. And so since Gary didn't start recording until after he was speaking, what I'm going to do is a J-cut where the audio is going to come in before the video starts. And it's going to be a nice seamless edit.
Let us humbly invoke by our... At the Savior's command, informed by divine teaching, we dare to say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Give us this day our daily bread, and lead us not into... Humbly invoke by our... Let us humbly invoke by our prayers, dear brothers.
So we're going to start right there, and I believe it ends, looks like it ends around here.
And they may come to the kingdom of heaven. Through Christ our Lord.
So that's where he says amen. So we're going to pull that clip down. And we're going to try the best I can to get this lined up. So what I'll do is solo this clip and solo this clip. And we'll see how it sounds and try to get them to line up. So I got them lined up. What you can also do is use the levels here from the audio, and you can kind of see that they're very similar. So I can give you a visual hint on where to line them up. And just to double check that they're lined up, I'll unsolo this clip, and then put it back on, unsolo that one.
upon this bride
and they line up perfectly. So we did that. So what we'll do is go ahead and pull these over. What's this?
for our prayer.
All right, so that's just some other efficient audio, which you don't really need right at the moment. So we're going to drag this down to here. Let's see. So I got to fill this gap in somewhere, or I got to fill this gap in with something.
The care of our home.
The care of our home.
And the welfare of our children.
And the welfare of our children.
Let us humbly invoke by our prayers, dear brothers,
So what I can do is probably extend this clip a little bit.
the sacrament of matrimony. Holy Father, maker of the whole world, who created man and woman in your own image.
So Gary's still adjusting his shot here a little bit, so I'm going to wait until his camera settles down,
We humbly beseech,
which seems to be right around in there. So what I'll do is cut that. So I have more of a gap to fill now. I didn't really like how this one was ending. Kind of like how once they put the rope on, it stops. So I got to fill this gap in. Let's see if I have some B-roll somewhere. So I already laid out all the reception clips over here. It's not in any order. It's just everything I want to use. But since that's reception, I don't want to use reception footage. So here's some leftover. Okay, so here's another angle from, I believe this is my angle, or this could be down the aisle. I'm not too sure. But let's see what part of the prayer this is.
Cristo nuestro.
So I think that's near the end. What would have been nice if his arm was covering his mouth, I could have used that clip and you would not even know what part of the prayer he was in. But since you can see his mouth, it will not line up with the words. Let's see. So here's another part of the prayer. Unfortunately, they have the rope is not on them. But Gary is doing a walking approach move here, so I might be able to use that for a few seconds just to fill in that gap, and I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. So let's see, I really like the move he's doing here, so we're going to go ahead and try to use this part. So we'll drag it to fill it in. Okay, so what I do is I usually mute these first 3 tracks because this is the audio from the camera, and I'm not going to use any audio from the camera. So I mute those 3. So let's see how it looks with the audio of the officiant with that clip as Gary is walking towards the podium, or the front of the stage, I should say.
That in his kindness he may favor with his help those on whom he has bestowed the sacrament of matrimony. Holy Father,
So since there's a long pause right there, what I'm going to do is cut that out just so the flow, the audio flows a little better.
of matrimony. Holy Father,
But since I did that, I have to move this along with it. So I'll put that up there just for now and grab both of these and close that gap. So now I can make this one a little shorter. And let's see.
those on whom he has bestowed the sacrament of matrimony. Holy Father, maker of the whole world, who created man and woman in your own image, and willed that their union be crowned with your blessing.
So Gary does a zoom there at the end. So I definitely do not want that in there. It's just very, very distracting. And I notice he kind of comes to a stop, and so I want to end the clip as he's still moving, before that stops. So I'll cut it there.
Man and woman in your own image, and will.
So it's still adjusting camera. So I still got to find something to cover this little gap. Let's see if I can extend this clip on the front side.
On whom he has bestowed the sacrament of matrimony. Holy Father, maker of the whole world, who created man and woman in your own image, and willed that their union be crowned with your blessing.
So that works perfectly. Even though they don't have the rope around them in this shot, it's really not too much of a big deal. I don't think most people will notice it. Only people like myself doing the edit, or perhaps people who are really paying attention may notice it, but it seems to flow really well. They're still in the prayer. However, he does change position. It still seems to work. And I mean, it's only 5 seconds at most. So I think we'll be okay. Since I see this guy's bald head right here in the shot, what I can do is, since Gary, I'm pretty sure, yeah, so since Gary shot this in 4K, what I'm able to do is zoom in a little bit just to get rid of that guy's head and adjust the frame. Actually, we can go back a little bit since I'm going to be adding black bars for that movie look. That'll cut out his head, so that's really the benefit of shooting 4K these days. Huge plus. So what we'll do now is, as they're praying, or as they're getting the prayer put upon them,
The gift of matrimony, they may adorn their family with children and enrich the church. In happiness may they praise you, O Lord. In sorrow.
so since this clip is a little bit longer than the rest, it looks like it's over a minute. I don't want to stay on that clip the entire time. So what I'm going to do is have it show the officiant giving the prayer at the beginning, but I'll cut somewhere around here and add some of the other footage, but I'll keep the prayer continuously going. That way the viewer doesn't get bored on just viewing this really long clip right here. So it looks like these are the last few clips I have of the ceremony. So that's more of the prayer, which we will not need. This is the end. So that's going to be the very ending shot of the ceremony. That might go, I don't know, somewhere in here for now. And then, so here's another angle of that prayer. So what I can do is put it up here just so I can cut to it, so it's not on that one long clip for too long. So that's another shot of the end. I might use that, or I might just stay on Gary's, we'll see. So since it's the end of the prayer, I don't think I'm going to use it, just because I like this being the end shot over here. So let's just move this for now, just in case I might want to use it. Let's see how much of the music we have left. So here's the end of the song. So it's pretty close. So the end of the song sounds like this. So since it's already dying out, what I'm going to do is have this song come in a little bit earlier, because I don't like how it's just so quiet and kind of not exciting. Because what I try to do in my wedding videos is, once the ceremony ends, it goes right into the reception, like a celebration. So I want it to kind of, you know, start with a punch and just boom, now we're into the action. Now it's time to have fun, energy's up high, and let's do it. So I might have the other song come in somewhere right around here while the music is still kind of amplified and still kind of intense. Usually what I do as well is I'll have the reception song kind of start right when they kiss, because that's kind of the visual indicator of, all right, the hard part's done, the ceremony's done, they're officially married, now it's party time.
May your abundant blessing, Lord, come down upon this bride Juliana and upon Javier, her companion for life. And may the power of your Holy Spirit.
So the officiant looks like he's saying something there, but obviously he's not saying what the prayer is being said. So if I can try to find a spot where he's not talking near the end of it, which seems to be right around here, with his hand still up in the air, I can put that there.
Companion for life. And may the power of your Holy Spirit set their hearts aflame from on high, so that living out together the gift of matrimony, they may adorn their family with children and enrich the church. In happiness may they praise you, O Lord. In sorrow may they seek you out. May they have the joy of your presence.
So another thought just came onto me. I like how the song is kind of dying out now. It goes along with the prayer. And so an upbeat song would not sound very good with that prayer going on. So now I got to figure out how I want to transition into the reception part of the video as the prayer is ending and as the song is ending and as they're walking out. So this part of an edit usually takes a lot of trial and error. What I'll do is I'll try different shots, I'll try different audio clips, move the music around, and see what works.
Adorn their family with children and enrich the church. In happiness may they praise you, O Lord. In sorrow may they seek you out. May they have the joy of your presence to assist them in their toil, and know that you are near to comfort them in their need. Let them pray to you in the holy assembly, and bear witness to you in the world. And after a happy old age, together with the circle of friends that surrounds them, they may come to the kingdom of heaven, through Christ our Lord.
So it turns out I actually like the way that ends. So I really like how Gary did not change the exposure here, because since he was inside, he's exposed for the inside, and how he gets, as he's approaching the outdoors, it's way overexposed. So what I'll do is use that as a white flash transition, and that can go right into the reception part of the video. And I think this is where I'll have that next song cue in. So Gary does a quick zoom out right there just to get ready for them walking down the aisle. So I think I have a clip. Oh, I deleted it. So I have my angle, which I'll try to find hopefully quick. I think it's this one. So here's my angle. So what I'll do is while Gary is zooming out to adjust his frame, I'll cut to my angle. Let's see where he does that.
Enrich the church. In happiness.
It's right there as Juliana is about to take her first step down. Wow, that's really loud. Let's see where it's at. So they kiss, walking down. So what I'll do is I'll cut to my angle right there, and let's see if we can line it up better. So let's see where Gary does the zoom out, where it's right there. So looks like Javier is just taking his first step down the step. Seems to be right around in there. So we'll set an in mark there. And let's go out right there. Why not? So we'll just put that there. So the photographer gets in the shot here, which I do not like either. So what I can do is cover it up. Let's see where she first comes in. So right around there. So what I can do is cover it up with my angle.
Then they adorn their family with children and enrich the church.
Okay, so I'm a little off because you can see in Gary's shot, they're already walking. That's where they start walking there. So what I'll do is scoot this clip back a little bit more.
The gift of matrimony. Then they adorn their family with children and enrich matrimony. Then they adorn their family with children and enrich the church.
Okay, so it looks like I zoomed out as well. So we'll cut that there.
The gift of matrimony. Then they adorn their family with children.
Okay, so we got to cover up that zoom a little bit more.
Then they adorn their family. Living out together the gift of matrimony. Then they adorn their family. Then they adorn their family with children and enrich the.
So that seems to match pretty well.
Their family with children. Then they adorn their family with children and enrich the.
Let's see if I can get it a little bit closer. So that zoom starts right there, so it's pretty much as close as I'm going to be able to get it.
Then they adorn their family with children and enrich the.
So that seems to work. So as they're walking down the steps, then it'll go back to Gary's angle.
In sorrow, may they seek you out. May they have the joy of your presence.
What I might want to do is have it go to Gary's angle once he starts walking backwards. So let's see how that looks.
Praise you, O Lord. In sorrow, may they seek you out. May they have the joy of your presence to assist them in their toil.
So that doesn't look too bad. My focus was off a little bit, so I may sharpen it just to help that focus.
And bear witness to you in the world. And after a happy old age, together with the circle of friends that surrounds them, they may come to the kingdom of heaven. Through Christ our Lord.
So that really works. Another point on the white exposure right here is it's kind of like symbolism. It goes along with the prayer as the officiant is giving them one last prayer before their marriage. You know, it kind of goes along with the whole heaven idea with the white. And so it really works, and it kind of, things sometimes kind of just fall into place like that, which is awesome. So this is just extra audio we won't need. So now let's see if we can bring in this song. Let's see what the beginning sounds like. So there's a little bit of a, sounds like a guitar pluck on some strings. What we'll do is start right on that kick drum. I think that'll work a lot better. So if it'll cross dissolve here with that white flash right on the beat of this track. So what we'll do is have this one kind of start to begin to fade out here.
Let's break away.
So that kind of works. Let's see if we can add back that guitar pluck, and let's see what happens when that one begins to creep in.
Let's break away.
So that works. It kind of leads into the next track for the reception. So since we got the ceremony part is all done, what we can do now is move on to the reception part of the video, which usually for me is the most fun to edit because you can use quick shots. You know, you've got the dancing, you've got the cake cut, everything is in party mode, so people are a lot happier. Shots tend to come out better just because the people are more happy, they're smiling a little bit more. And when the music lines up with those first dances, just the emotions come out so much more. Sometimes it almost makes me cry. So let's go ahead and bring all this over now. We'll just clear that just to make sure we got everything over here, which looks like we did. So like I said before, I didn't have this in any order. I just went ahead and grabbed the part of the clips that I want to use. And my goal is to get it all to fit within this one song here. What I may have to do is cut out portions of the song and duplicate it just to extend the song if I have to. I've done that numerous times, or I've even cut out parts of songs and, you know, done a little audio editing, and you don't even notice. So the first shot we have here is a limo pulling up because the ceremony was at a different location than the reception. So what we'll do is have that be our opening shot. Excuse me. As the song is just beginning to come in. And so I believe the first part of the song, it kind of drops into the beat around here.
I feel so weightless. Let's fly where we used to run.
So that's the first part of the song when it really drops, and that's usually where I want to have the first dance come in, because this part of the song matched up with the first dance. That's when more of the emotion comes out.
Let's fly where we used to run.
Personally, I like this song a lot. It really goes well with the wedding video. So again, we're on Gary's footage here. Looks like in this clip he shot 60 frames, so in case I want to have it slow down a little bit when they're getting out of the limo just to add more of a dramatic effect, I can do that. That's the benefit of shooting 60 frames per second when it comes to editing, say, a wedding or a music video. If you shoot in 60 frames a second and you have a 24 frame timeline, you can leave the shot at 60 frames and drag it on and it looks fine, but you also have the ability to add slow-mo to that 60 frame clip and it still looks great.
Let's break away from what we know.
Another thing I try to do when it comes to wedding videos is I try to make the cuts on beat. That's what helps hide the edit. So I'm going to try to do that the best I can with this song here.
Break away from what we know. Let's break away from what we know.
So right there, I like how we can cut there on that beat. I think this one's in 60 as well. So what we can do is we'll slow-mo this clip and see how it looks. Oops.
Let's break away from what we know.
And we'll just cut right into this one. I kind of like the slow-mo look, so what we'll do is we'll make this one slow-mo as well. The key percentage for slow-mo when you shoot in 60 frames a second is turn the speed down to 40%, because 40% of 60 is 24. And so since I'm on a 24 frame timeline, that's what you want.
What we know. Just say the word, just say go.
So the slow-mo looks good as the limo driver is opening up the door for Juliana. So what I'll do is just kind of do some jump cuts and it'll work. So we'll cut out all this dead time here as she is exiting the car.
From what we know, just say the word, just say go. No better time than now to make.
So it works. So let's see if we can add a little bit more cuts in here, just because I feel like the clips are a little bit long.
Let's break away from what we know. Just say the word, just say go. No better time than now. No better time than now. Say the word, just say go. No better time than now to make. Better time than now. Say go. No better time than now.
So let's see if we can add in a shot there. What we'll do is cut out some of this space as she's coming out of the car. So she's out of the car. I believe Javier is right behind her, and he is. So I kind of want to see him coming out. However, the driver is blocking him a little bit. So what I'll do is we'll cut right here to where Javier's kind of showing off his jacket. I really like that move he's doing right there. So we'll cut out more of this dead clip here.
Go. No better time than now to make our move. Let's find a place to leave our shoes among the stars.
So that looks pretty good. I'm going to cut down this clip a little bit just so it's not so long.
Now to make our move.
And on that double clap in the track there, I want to add some visual effect, or not effect, but some visual cue of the clap going on. So maybe cut to the clap twice. Basically just move the clip around a little bit, add some cuts here and there so the cuts go right to the beat of the track.
I move. Let's find.
So we just gotta tweak it a little bit more. 400 might be too fast. Maybe we can do like, let's try 300.
Move. Let's find a place.
So that looks a little better. Maybe we can cut off a little bit of this one just so it flows a little bit better.
Move. To make our move. Let move. Move.
So the clap comes in a little bit sooner. So what we'll do is cut down to here, that there.
Move. Let's find.
So that seems to work. I kind of like it.
Make our move. Let's find.
Maybe it might be better to have him go fast with the jacket open and then fast again as he closes it, kind of putting it in reverse. That way it's back to with him, the jacket closed, and that's when we can pull the slow-mo. So what we can do is we'll duplicate this track. And so it's already the same speed as this one. So what we'll do with this one now is just reverse it.
Make our move. Let's find.
So I kind of like that. It's a little bit better. We might have to make it a little bit faster so it goes with the clap of the track here. So what I'll do is I'm going to add some markers to the timeline around here on the beat of the clap, just so we can sync it up easier.
Now to make our move.
So what we got to do is line up the cuts here with these markers that I put. You can also see down in the audio track, if you look, these peaks are where the clap happens.
Move.
So what I'll do is just adjust them a little bit so they're lined up more with it.
Move. Move.
So they're already pretty much lined up with the cuts.
Make our move. Let's find a place to make our move. Let's find a place to leave.
So I kind of like it. Part of me is iffy about it.
Make our move.
I'm kind of more concerned with the fast clip going in reverse. I might even make that even faster. Let's try 500.
Move. Let's move.
Let's see if we just take that clip out. Kind of going back to our first plan.
Move. Let move. Let
So I'm kind of starting to not like it anymore.
move.
So now I kind of just got to figure out what works best for the video at this point and what I like. I was really hoping that would work, but it's just not working to my liking. So let's just move on. I don't want to spend too much time on one part of the clip. So right here we have the grand entrance, which I don't want to put yet. I want to put some more B-roll of, let's say, perhaps I can put this shot here after the ceremony happens. Actually, I might put that later. I don't want that too close to the ending of the ceremony because for the video we just left that location. So I kind of want to sit at our new location for a little bit. Then what I'll do is go back to that spot just for those photos. So we've got the first dances around here. So right here is some of the B-roll. We gotta tilt down on the table, the guest pictures, cake. So they're all super close. That's just because it was shot in 4K. And what I'll do is go to the clip and reduce the scale down to 50, and now it'll fit the frame for 1080. So I like this slide in I did here. Oh, that one was already shot in 1080, so no need to scale it down. So I'll go ahead and use this clip here. Edit on the beat.
Let's find a place to leave our shoes.
Cut there. Go get some more B-roll shots. Let's just bring this closer. Move all this down a little bit. Give us some more room. We got a little candle flicker here.
Let's find a place to leave our shoes among the stars that have.
Bartender pouring a drink. Good little B-roll shot just to kind of show that's now the reception, you know, party time.
They have no use when I'm with you, when I'm with you. Let's find a place to leave our shoes among the stars. They
Frame's a little bit tilted there, so what I can do is, since it was already shot in 4K, I can just add a little rotation adjustment and push in, and now it seems level.
have no
Another benefit of shooting 4K.
use when I'm with you, when I'm with you. I feel so weightless.
So right there, as the singer is singing "When I'm with you, when I'm with you," I want to put a shot there of Javier and Juliana looking at each other, and I'm pretty sure I know exactly what clip I want to use. I've got that shot right there. It looks to be the perfect amount of length. Because as soon as that beat drops to the main, the first chorus of the song, I either want to put the first dance right there, or I want to put some of those sunset shots that I have.
When I'm with you, I feel so.
Now did Gary shoot this? So Gary shot that in 60, and I would love to slow that down because those shots are the best to slow down. Looks like the song drops in right there. The chorus, I should say.
When I'm with you, I feel so weightless. Let's fly.
Let's see what a a cross transition fade looks like right in here. Oops.
When I'm with you, I feel so.
They want it a little bit longer.
They have no use when I'm with you, when I'm.
So she looked over, so I definitely do not want that. But what I can do is just scoot this track longer.
They have no use when I'm with you, when I'm with you, I feel so weightless. Let's fly.
So that works pretty well. A little bit of a camera jitter there, just from the stabilizer stabilizing. But what I'll do is just add a warp stabilizer effect, and that'll smooth it out. So, as they are looking into each other's eyes, you know what? I may just switch that out for this, because they're walking on the grass. It's like they're approaching that sunset spot. So what I'll do is I'll just switch these out. We'll do another fade in here. Or cross dissolve, I should say.
They have no use when I'm with you, when I'm with you, I feel so weightless.
So they're out of focus for a little bit, and the camera's pretty shaky, so what I'll do is just cut out to here. Excuse me. We'll drag it like that. Oh, but the shot seems to end right there. So maybe we won't maybe we won't cross dissolve there.
With you, when I'm with you, I feel so weightless. Let's fly where we used to run.
So I don't like that. I'm not going to use that shot because I really want a slow-mo clip right there. It just adds more of a dramatic impact on the video. What I could do is bring these two clips over, maybe do a little cross dissolve with these two as they're both by themselves. I'll add the bartender pour a little bit later. So let's see how this looks. Like I said before, when I do a lot of my wedding videos, sometimes it's just trial and error and see what works.
They have no use when I'm with you, when I'm with you, I feel so weightless. Let's fly.
So the move stopped right in there, so I want the move to keep going. So what we'll do is bring this back.
They have no use when I'm with you, when I'm with you, I feel so weightless. Let's fly.
If you listen, you can hear in the audio track, on the music track, it's kind of like a slight buildup. What I'll do is I'll add like a white flash for that transition right there, or maybe some kind of lens flare or something like that, just to add visual effect to that buildup in the music.
With you, when I'm with you, I feel
right around
so
here,
weightless.
and then just flash into this shot.
Let's go where we never got.
And then what I'll do is, this is where I can do a cross fade transition. This is a good one. This is where they kiss. Make it 50 so it can see the whole frame. Bezier to smooth out the transition.
Let's fly where we used to run. Let's go where we never gone. Let's dream what we never done and make a road where there wasn't.
Oh, what happened in that clip there? Put their heads together.
Make a road where there wasn't one left.
Okay, so it's just too fast. Wow, I am really hungry. I'm not sure if you caught that on the mic, but my stomach just growled like no other. So put that there and let's see how that looks.
Let's fly where we used to
there we can cut to the beat. Right and along there. Let's see what this clip is. It's another sunset kiss. Adding to this little sequence here might be overkill, so what I'll do, I'll save this clip for later, and I can come back to it. Same with this one, I might just come back to that one later on. Let's go ahead and just add the stabilizer effect to these clips just so they're smoother, and I can show you guys what it looks like. We'll search for warp, stabilizer. Oh, so Premiere does this weird thing where when you add a warp stabilizer to a clip that doesn't match the dimensions of a timeline. For instance, this clip here is a 4K clip, but the timeline is a 1920 by 1080. You are unable to add the warp stabilizer. It's really weird, but just an easy fix for that is you right click and you nest the clip, and just like magic, somehow I'm able to now add the warp stabilizer. To me, it really makes no sense at all, but that's just Adobe's weird workaround for things like that. Same thing when you have a clip slowed down for a slow-mo effect. You can't add the warp stabilizer, but if you nest it, for some reason, poof, now it works. So what we'll do is we'll nest all of these because they're all 4K. And now we're able to add the stabilizer on all of them. Just make sure they're analyzing, and they are. So we'll give that just a few minutes to stabilize each of those clips. And we will see how it looks. All right, so it looks like they're all stabilized. So let's see if it worked.
Leave our shoes among the stars, they have no use. When I'm with you, I feel so weightless. Let's fly where we used to run, let's go where we've never gone, let's dream what we've never done and make a...
So the background is a little bit wobbly. Sometimes that happens when you do the warp stabilizer because the effect is doing the best it can to focus on that middle subject and what you're in focus. And so to compensate for the stability, what it'll do is the background tends to get a little wobbly. So in order to fix that, what I'll do is I'll just turn down the smoothness, maybe like 20%. It'll still make the clip smooth, but it'll reduce that wobbliness in the background.
Have no use when I'm with you.
So it's still there a little bit. So what I can do next is just try these different methods here. Let's try position.
They have no use when I'm with you.
So there's still a bit of a wobble. Let's try perspective.
Have no use when
I'll reduce this down even more. There's been times where I've reduced it down to even 5% or even 1%, but it still adds that smoothness to the stabilizer.
have no use when I'm with. Have no use when I'm with you.
So it seems to be right there in the beginning when it really wobbles. So what I'll do, I'll just cut that out a little bit.
They have no use when I'm with you. When I'm with you, I feel.
That's just going to take more tinkering and more playing with, but I think what I'll do is I'll end this episode now because I don't want to drag it on too long, and finishing this edit for the wedding is going to take me a few more days. But I just wanted to give you an inside look of how I edit the weddings that I shoot. So I thank you for joining me and watching this video. I hope you tune in more and watch more of my vlogs as they come out. Go watch some of my past vlogs on my website at samfriedentertainment.com and just click the vlog tab in the upper right hand corner, and I'll see you in the next one.